Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm back too. That doesn't matter that much, I guess. Alright. Where is everybody? Is everybody still at the, what are these guys? Obviously, oh, so they all at the motel, okay. Now, which one did exactly third best goal? The psychopath is in his patient room. Please hurry and see how he's doing. Ugh. Okay, I'm checking everyone else first because I hate Nagito. The Monochrome announcement hasn't played yet, so I believe Ibuki is still sleeping. I don't really know if that's true or not, though. I'm sorry, I spoke without your permission. Calm down. But it would be bad if we woke her up, so please check on Nagito first. Ugh. Hey, best girl, how are you doing? He's dead now, but I'm still worried. Why don't you check on... Alright, fine. Fucking check on this. Please be dead. Ugh. He's drinking his mouth. Okay, this is strange. There I saw Nagito, who managed to sit up in his bed. Psychopath, can you hear me? Hajime came by to see how you were doing. The twin second best girls are singing. I see. Second best girl must have done a twin duo. Must have been a twin duo. What, you mean like Junko and Mukuro? The Veronicas. The what? Is he supposed to be cured?
Well...
It's not like he's completely cured. He was just able to recover from his critical condition. They were utilizing their characteristics as twins, and they've been taking turns appearing before me. Which means there were actually 17 people on this island. Where are you getting 17 from? Oh no, wait. Okay, idiot. Okay, so he said that. I was thinking he meant that Ibuki and her twin, quote unquote, was playing everyone on the island. So I was thinking like, where are you getting 17 people from? I wonder if that's true though. Are there 17 people on this island actually? Is there a secret 17th student? The Veronicas. That's the answer. After seeing this, it might have been better if he stayed quiet for just a little bit longer. But I'm so glad. I'm so relieved Nagito regained consciousness. Oh, I mean, I'm so glad that Psychopath has gained consciousness. There we go. I'm so glad. Why? I feel dizzy. Somehow, everything's spinning around. Oh, please don't be sick. Shouldn't you get some rest already? You should be exhausted from nursing without any sleep, right? Then if you insist, I'll use the on-call room upstairs. And you know what, Hajime, you should go up there and rest with her. You know, just to get that scene over and over again. You must be mentally exhausted, so you must be mentally exhausted, so it's better if you relax in the lobby instead. Yeah, I'll do that. Then, even though it's morning, good night. Third best girl wobbled around a bit, then left the room. I hope she doesn't get sick. Come on now. She's definitely exhausted. It's understandable. I mean, she fell asleep when she was supposed to come wake me up.
Man.
All alone with Hajime, huh? I can't stand being in the same room as you. That's right. He says the exact opposite of what he actually means. Ugh. Don't worry, I'm leaving. You should focus on curing that crappy disease of yours. Yeah, hurry up and go away. I don't want to see your face anymore. Just flip him off.
Hey,
What are you doing? Hurry up and go away. I don't want to see your face anymore. Oh, I hope he dies. The morning Monokuma announcement should be starting soon. I should wait at the lobby for the transmission. I wanted to go and see how Mikon was doing. And Vesco. Where was Fuyuhiko? Huh? The surveillance camera... the surveillance camera unit's light is blinking. But that's weird. It's not transmission time yet. Oh god. I don't like this. If the light is blinking, you receive some sort of a transmission from the other side, right? But that's pretty early. We haven't even received the Monokuma announcement yet. It might be something urgent, though. If so, there's no way I can make that then wait until Fuyuhiko gets here. Alright, even if it's just me, I should receive the transmission. I wish my hand... there goes the music again. Oh, fuck, what's about to happen? I reached my hand and pressed the reception button on the surveillance camera unit. Oh god. Upon first glance, I immediately knew it wasn't a normal video. A slowly swaying, dim light is shining on the black curtains. Those are green. It felt like some sort of ritual was about to begin. Ah, fuck. Is this light from a candle? But what was creepiest of all was the rope hanging from the ceiling. The end of the rope was tied in a loop, and beneath it was a stepladder. It was like a gallows, or you know, someone about to commit suicide. What is this? I didn't understand at all. What's going on at the music venue? And that's when it happened. What was that? In a bathrobe. I don't like that. The moment I saw a silhouette slowly entering the frame from the side of the screen, chills ran down my spine, as if someone was dragging ice on me. A person was wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head. What the... As I raised my voice in surprise, the person in the hospital gown slowly started moving. Oh, fuck. I began climbing the stepladder. Slowly, they took their time climbing. They reached over to the rope hanging from the ceiling. Are you kidding me? And at that moment... Fuck. The screen suddenly went pitch black. Probably because the candle, the only source of light had gone out. Hey! No matter what I said, there was no response from the darkness on the other end of the monitor. The heck is this? What's going on? What in the world is going on? No, it doesn't matter. I have to do something about this. I must still be able to make it. I need to hurry over to the music venue. I rushed out the hospital and ran over to the music venue where the transmission was made. Good thing they're right next door to each other. Actually go? Yeah. They just want me to move over there myself and not just fast travel there?
Ahem! Hope's Peak Academy School Trip Executive Committee has an announcement to make.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone! Looks like today is gonna be another perfect tropical day! Now then, let's show some enthusiasm and make sure to give it our all today!
Just now. That was the morning Monokuma announcement. Fuyuhiko should be arriving here shortly. No, I don't have time to wait for him. I've got to get to the music venue. Fuck, other way. Fuck. I wonder, what does the map say? I'm gonna... Oh, it's because I've been in the motel. I forgot about that. I'm gonna guess that was happening in the back room. Please, just let me make it. I wish to the music venue with a prayer in my heart. But I completely forgot. Prayer means nothing on this island. Ah, man. Long black hair. That could only be Ibuki. It's too late. What the hell is this? In the hot air inside the music venue, I couldn't keep myself from shouting. Hot air? Why? It's so hot. Why is there strange hot air inside the music venue? No, now's the time to worry about that. More importantly, why isn't anybody coming? What's everyone doing? The body discovery announcement? We need 3 people to see the body. There's only 1 person here. Yeah, that's right. There hasn't been an announcement yet. That's why nobody's noticed yet. The guy needs to hurry and let the others know. See who it is first. From here, the motel is close by. There should be a lot of able-bodied people who can help me there. I should hurry. It would have to be Ibuki. It would have to be Ibuki or Mikan, and Mikan is supposed to be in the hospital still. She wouldn't let you go see into Ibuki or Akane's rooms. So I mean, you can't verify that they are there actually, because you couldn't see into their rooms. The way the hair looked, it had to be Ibuki. I ran to the motel as fast as I could, trying desperately not to trip over my own feet. Hey! Somebody get out here! As soon as I arrived at the motel, I started shouting for help as loud as I could. I was wondering who's making such an infernal racket. So it was you. Gundam! Something awful has happened.
What?
Don't tell me. Do you intend to spread the pathogenic bacteria as soon as you can take us all down with you? No!
I won't let you!
If you want to pass, you must defeat me first. No, you idiot! What happened? Is there a problem? Fighting is not allowed. That is not the point right now. It's worse than trouble. There's a body. Hey, huh? Did you hear me? A body was found.
Could it be? Yeah!
I renounce you!
Just weird for me to say right now. Could it be? Do you intend to spread lies like Nagito in order to do? Holy fuck, dude!
Hold it.
Hajime, is that true? Of course it is. Isn't it obvious? Chiaki, you have seen the psychopath's condition, yes? This fiend just has the same symptom as him. Why would I be lying?
But still...
There's no way we shouldn't check it out. Because if Hajime is telling the truth, that means it happened again, right?
That's...
A killing?
Hey.
If that's true, we need to check it out.
Fine.
If that is the case, I will not stop you.
Leave this to me!
And you fiends go on ahead. No need to worry. I'll catch up with you easily. Okay, that's not suspicious at all, but alright. That sounds like famous last words. I love that song. Chiaki, can you go? Yeah, it's better if you hurry, alright? Why would I be lying, man? No need to worry. Who do you think I am?
I can see it!
No matter the trap, it is mere child's play compared to me. I shall destroy any and all traps. Wonderful. Here's something. But is it really true? You know, just saying it out loud is horrifying. You seriously are loud. Your presence alone ruins tense situations. My presence ruins tense situations? That sounds like an important problem. How long have I been making that mistake?
Taste your powerlessness!
Ever since your character was formed.
Yippee-ki-yay!
That goes for you too. What?
Good instincts.
You certainly talk big now. Do these guys get along? No, it doesn't matter. Let's go.
Hajime!
Nikon, wait, why are you here? Perfect timing. Please help us, Hajime. Help us?
Hey.
Hajime, someone's coming from over there. Huh? Hajime and Chiaki? What are you guys doing here? Yuhiko, why are you here too?
No shit.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Ibuki. Fuck! I mean, alright, so like, obviously more people are going to die, but that's like unavoidable, but like, fuck, man. I mean, in the last game, I was able to, my favorite character was able to live. I thought that could have the same thing happen here. My second best girl is going. Looking for second best girl. I was planning to rest in the on-call room, but I wanted to check out on everyone before I did that. And second best girl's missing from the hospital all of a sudden. Huh?
Perhaps.
So what Hajime was saying earlier. Everyone, let's hurry.
Huh?
Hurry where? To the music venue. Don't ask, just follow me. Music venue? Is second best girl going to be there? Yeah, she is. If you're here, that means it has to be her there. Why wouldn't you take the bag off her head to see who it was precisely?
Damn it!
My wound hasn't completely healed yet. Don't make me run too much.
Hey.
Why'd you cut your stomach open? Is second best girl here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The only way to know is to go inside and confirm. That hanged body is really Ibuki.
Perhaps.
The second best girl in here? No. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, you know what happened? Someone, because of the disease, someone convinced her to kill herself. Although why the bag in her head, I don't know. Well, maybe I'm thinking too much. That disease, like her naivete, someone said, "Hey, Ibuki, kill yourself, it's a good idea." And she believed it, so she did it.
Hey, bastard!
You made me run this far. There better be something worth seeing in there. Let's go. I clenched my teeth and reached my hand toward the door. The fuck? Who locked it?
Huh?
What the heck? Why is it locked? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I was able to go through here just a few minutes ago.
For now.
Then why don't we try from another entrance?
No.
The other entrance. This is the only entrance to the music venue. There isn't even a window we can go through. But why is it locked? Someone had to have been there with her. I don't understand it myself, but...
Let's go!
Door open? The only thing we can do is force our way through. Hold a second. So everyone is accounted for, technically except Nekomaru, but he's supposed to be in some sort of hospital with being taken care of by Monokuma anyway. I wonder if that's going to be possible. Of the four of us, two of us are girls now. That means nothing. Look at Best Girl, and then look at Sakura from the first game. That means nothing.
It's got nothing to do with you.
It doesn't matter if you can do it or not. You have to try.
Damn right.
Let's go. We're all charged at the same time. Ready, set. Yep. After you Hiko's signal, we charge into the door at full force. Oh, the door moved. Maybe it'll open easy after all.
Yep.
Yeah, even with two girls here, that means nothing, like I said.
Let's go.
Alright, one more time. After you Hiko's signal, we charge into the door one more time. Yeah, wow, look at that. It was like a live performance had just ended. That moment of silence just before the audience breaks out in thunderous applause. And a few minutes of silence after that. And minutes after that silence. A scream surfaced. Yeah, I figured. It is Ibuki. What the hell? Her too? There wasn't just a hanged body. There was also another body. A suspended body. Belonging to Hiyoko. They actually... Oh, there's blood all over her chest too. Updates fast. Did someone slit her throat?
A body has been discovered!
Two bodies, actually.
Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin! A body has been discovered!
Why would you play it twice? I mean, I get it's because two bodies, I get that, but why would you play it twice?
Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
She wasn't here before, though. Hiyoko. So was she had to be here the entire time. And who locked the damn door, then? Someone had to have been here. Someone else. The only person not accounted for is Nekomaru. But he shouldn't be anywhere near this place anyway. Two body discovery announcements in a row. That means the hanged body with a handbag on its head. Hiyoko's suspended body. Everybody's actually killed her. Oh my, you know what I just realized? I thought something was odd. Her head and her neck look elongated. I think someone actually decapitated her. There's blood coming from her neck, or that area anyway, all over her front. If I'm right about that, that's even more gruesome. Both of these bodies have been discovered at the same time. What? What is this?
What?
Hiyoko and... Who the hell's that other one wearing the hemp bag?
Could it be?
Could it be two victims? But when I was here earlier, I didn't see Hiyoko's body. It wasn't here earlier. I don't think it was. I also saw that hanged body over there. Not even 10 minutes passed. But still, why? What is this? Impossible. Impossible, impossible, impossible. It's impossible for killings to happen on this island.
Shut the hell up!
This is just...
For now, we should lower that person wearing the hemp bag to the ground. I just realized, I'm pretty sure Chiaki's voice actress is the same voice actress for Kana in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I think it is. I'd have to check that. It sounds like her. Leaving it like that is just too sad.
Yes!
But what about preserving the scene of the crime?
Damn it!
Who fucking cares about that? There's a control panel for the baton lighting in the wing of the stage. You can lower the body with that. Take the bag off her face first. That one. Ryuka ran over to the wing of the stage and pressed the button in the control panel. The motorized sounded like the growl of a starving beast. The baton lighting slowly descended. And it descended enough for us to reach it. We all worked together to lower the body. Now, I'm going to take out the hemp bag, okay? Of course. I was really hoping she could live. Even though I expected it, I still didn't want to confront that reality. Under the hemp bag, there's no denying that the face I saw belonged to second best girl. It's all my fault. If only I did a better job watching over Ibuki. Why don't you let me check her room though? I mean, in the universe it makes sense. Like, yeah, hey Hajime, we're not worried about Ibuki or Akane right now. We're worried about Nagito for some reason. Don't worry about them. I get that, but like, let me fucking check them though. But then again, she wants to check him. Yeah, you know, I figured I just said, because you know what, Ibuki was already missing. But still, though, I guess it's your fault, Mikon. I'm joking. I don't mean that. It's just even when I wanted to go check on her, like she was already missing. I'm still trying to figure out how this happened, though. What's all that stuff on the floor right there? All that debris. You're wrong. It's not your fault, Mikon. No matter how we feel, the one at fault is...
What's the matter?
Jeez. It looks like someone died in here or something. Oh, come on with that. So you finally showed up. The root of all evil.
What the heck?
How dare you call your big brother the root of all evil? I even went to trouble of bringing everyone for you. Bringing everyone? Were you two actually working together on this? Yep.
Are you kidding me?
What the hell is going on here?
That is impossible!
Ibuki? And Hyoko? Second best girl and worst girl?
What?
So 2 people have been killed.
What?
Whoa there. That's not all. I've also summoned the others who were at the hospital. The others?
This is troubling.
What, are you okay now? He is okay now, isn't he? Motherfucker. So the disease magically goes away when someone dies. Is that it, Monokuma? Or you injected them with a cure or something? Which you probably did. There's like another serious incident occurred while I was unaware.
Damn it!
I can't believe it. I can't believe they did such a horrible thing. Psychopath, best girl. Are you okay?
Huh?
Of course. What do you mean, of course?
No way!
Are you talking about the despair disease? Jeez, you guys. That stuff is totally over now. Over? Yeah, because I got bored. Oh my god, I hate Monokuma. For that silly reason? And now that the killing has started, there's no need to keep that motive around anymore. Yeah, that despair disease is gone now, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
What'd you say?
The heck? That's impossible! How can you spread a disease and cure it so easily? We already had the cure for it. Who cares about the itty-bitty details? Rather, it's already been cured. Thank you, writers, for discussing over that. So, let's go back to our main topic and proceed as usual.
It's the Monokuma file!
Wonderful.
See ya later!
I'll be waiting at the class trial. Do your best to investigate.
This cannot be.
Again? We have to do this again?
Silence.
We have no choice. Like last time, if this means one of us killed these two, I'm suspicious of Gundam. And possibly fifth best girl.
Let me tell you this.
Then, we cannot let this be. Possibly Mikon too, actually. Why do we have to do this?
Damn it.
Thinking like that won't do anything. We have to do this.
Damn it.
If we don't do anything, we'll all be executed.
What do you yearn for?
Abandon your overdependence and complaints this instant. Those have no place in this world. But what about Nekomaru? What's going to happen to him? Isn't he not going to participate this time? Is that even allowed? Nekomaru... Oh no. Huh?
That's weird.
That's strange. I'm crying. What happened to me? Looks like lingering after effects of the despair disease. There's nothing for you to worry about.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Fortunately, it seems like I have nothing to worry about. Oh joy, the psychopath is okay now.
This is bad.
Since you had the lie disease, your after effects could be lies. Maybe.
Leave it to me!
Please leave Nekomaru to me. Everyone must focus on investigating, so I must do my very best.
Alrighty!
I will definitely bring back Nekomaru and win everyone's trust. You know, Usami, I was on your side at first, to an extent at least, but like, I don't know now. It seems we should leave Nekomaru to Usami. What about guarding this area? Do we still need it?
Damn it.
I'll stay. I still don't feel good yet. It's better if I stay here too, right? I should perform the autopsy again, right?
Damn right.
Then I'll leave that to you. Then let's get started, so we can end this nightmare for good. That's right. We need to do this. We need to finish this once and for all. I know there's no way we can believe that one of us did this. But for those two's sake, we need to find the truth. And then, we need to end this nightmare once and for all.
Huh?
Like, I've been putting up with this for a while.
Hey!
But why is it so damn hot in here? I hate being hot. It's because your clothes are so smothering. Well, you're hot too, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I seriously can't stand it. All you guys investigate this place. And Sarah Kazuichi left the music venue under a cloud of grumbling complaints. But it really is hot. In fact, it's swelteringly hot. Why is it this hot? No, before that, I need to check the Monokuma file first. Before I get to that, I'm gonna update the the Twitch stream real quick. Alright, there we go. I honestly wasn't sure when we were going to do the trial and investigation, so I'm going to update it now. Anyway, there are two victims this time. Second best girl and worst girl. Ibuki Miyoda and Hyoko Sayoji. Ibuki Miyoda's cause of death was a crushed windpipe as a result of choking. There are no other external injuries. Hyoko Sayoji's cause of death was blood loss due to her throat being slit by a sharp-edged tool. The piece of death was instant. What the? Is this it? Wow, yeah. I already knew the cause of death from the beginning, so this is going to be a useful clue. It's strange. Why did the killer kill 2 people? Huh? I mean, the more people you kill, the more clues you'll leave, right?
So,
I don't think it's really necessary to kill 2 people and take that kind of risk. I agree with that. I think Byakuya said something similar in the first game, didn't he? Or either him or Kyoko. Or was the reason that they had to kill 2 people? The reasons for killing 2 people? Regardless, something like this shouldn't be forgiven. So,
I'll definitely find out.
I'll definitely find the truth behind this case.
I think.
Seriously? I prefer if she had a more confident sounding catchphrase. Everyone's here. Broken machine? Fifth best
Something
girl.
like this.
Well, I guess by default you're second best girl now. Oh no, you're third best girl now. Mikan's still second best, or third best girl. Second. Everyone moves up. You're what I'm talking about. Anyway, it has happened once again. 2 of my cherished friends died at the same time. I cannot believe it.
How cruel.
This is the place where Ibuki sang for Yuhiko. Kyoko looked like she was having so much fun listening to her music. And now those 2 are no longer here. Ah, such a tragedy. I understand how you feel, but please get a hold of yourself. 2 of our friends were killed. That's all the more reason why we can't just leave this alone, right?
So just as I thought.
We must do this, then. For the sake of the 2 who are fallen. I was meant to say, technically speaking, I said that Sonia was accounted for, but technically we never actually saw her before this, so... She is, but she isn't accounted for, technically.
That is.
The only way, right? For the sake of the 2 who are fallen. Technically, the only one who's actually unaccounted for would be Nekomaru, and technically speaking, he also has an alibi. He's been taken care of by Monokuma. Somewhere where we don't know. Best girl. You alright? Hey, are you okay? Are you still not feeling well? Huh? Yeah, I don't really get it, but... When I think about Nekomaru, it's like my knees start shaking.
That's weird.
There's no way I got that kind of weakness. You'll probably go away if I battle a strong dude, but Nekomaru's not here. Nekomaru will definitely come back, I hope. You're right. Just a little bit more time, and I'll be back to my old self. This isn't like me at all.
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime, take a look at this. What?
Huh?
Look what's in front of the door. Those drumsticks? This is a drumstick, right? It looks like it's broken. What happened to it?
Like...
Something like that is in front of the door. You think it might be a really big clue? Why would this be a clue? Because someone jammed the door with it.
Hey!
Remember when we came to the music venue? If it won't open, the only thing we can do is force our way through. I wonder if it's going to be possible. Of the 4 of us, 2 of us are girls, you know. Like I said before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can do it or not. We have to try. Let's go. We'll charge at the same time. Ready, set, go! After you hit your signal, we charge at the door at full force. The door is locked and we tried to go inside, and 4 of us charged into the door. But, when I examined it, I found out this door doesn't have a lock at all. Yeah, exactly. Huh?
I get it.
The door is designed to be pushed open, and this is the shape of the handle. Yeah, so someone jammed it. If a stick was used to bar the door here, well, don't you think it would be lock the door and keep it from opening? You mean, you think this drumstick was used to lock the door? Yes, you idiot! The broken drumstick on the floor in front of the door should be proof of that. Then, how was the killer able to get out? Yeah, good point.
Huh?
I mean, the music venue doesn't even have windows. This door is the only entrance. You lock the door from the inside, the killer wouldn't be able to escape. Outside.
Like...
Maybe. The killer was still inside when we broke down the door to the music venue. Yeah. And they waited till we were already at the scene of the crime to join us.
Get it?
You know, don't they use tricks like that in a lot of mystery dramas and stuff? Happened as well in the first game, actually. Well, not the killer. It was Toko. She didn't do the killing, but she saw the killing and couldn't bring us up to actually, say what she saw. If that's the case, there might be evidence of that around here somewhere.
Damn it.
Alright, I'm definitely gonna find it. I won't let the killer get away with this. The killer was still inside when we broke down the door to the music venue, huh? Like he said, that might be possible, but...
I've listened to the whole story.
I heard what you two were discussing. Chiaki. That was kind of a cool entrance. Oh, hush.
Well,
Besides the broken drumstick, I've also discovered something interesting. What is it?
see?
Is that glue or something? Look, there's a wood glove where the right and left door touch, see? You're right. What is this? It looks too firm to think... It looks too firm to think it's rubber. It looks too firm to think it's rubber. Is that right? Is that the correct sentence?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't look like rubber, but... As she said that, Jackie bent down and scraped off the same transparent glob with her finger. Why would you do that? Why are you putting it in your mouth? Ah, it smells like workshop chemicals. Okay, then you shouldn't have it in your damn mouth. Workshop? And this chewiness. I see. This thing may be a glob now, but that doesn't mean it was a glob from the start. For instance, if it was originally a liquid that hardened into this, it might be possible to apply directly smoothly in the gaps of the door. Was it was candy or something? What are you talking about? Uh-huh. Did you learn that behind the school, Chiaki? Wanting DLC codes for Steam? Anyway, just as I thought, it tastes nasty. Chiaki spit the glob out of her mouth and left the area. Besides that bit about the taste, it's okay to consider this some kind of clue, right? Okay, well, what do you think of it is? Like, maybe you don't know what it is, but what do you think it is? You say it tastes like workshop, or smells like workshop chemicals, right? Smells or tastes, whichever one. Smells like workshop. Okay, so... For what, though? What do you think it is, at the very least?
Anyway.
When we walked down this door, the killer was still inside. Alright, I'm gonna find out what.
Hajime.
This might be impudent of me to ask, but... You listen to what I have to say. What?
Hey.
I heard that you witnessed the incident from the very beginning, right? So what? When did they learn that? When did you tell him that? He saw it in the security camera, but like, when did you tell him that? Can you provide me with a summary of the incident? I need to reach the truth behind this incident, for the sake of dedicating my body to an even greater... So you just want to figure out who did it so you can support them and get everyone... Go fuck yourself! No, thank you.
Wow.
Why? I hate him. I hate him. I absolutely fucking hate him. Don't let me repeat myself. No! This guy just wants to confuse us. There's no way I'm going to tell him what he wants to know.
How unfortunate.
I see. That's disappointing.
Hey.
What's really disappointing is you, psychopath. Hey, Hajime. I don't care what you say, my answer isn't going to change.
How unfortunate.
Gundam? Even I'm horrified at my power, at the eye of the Overlord. What the heck is this?
Nature, the collective will of the world.
You stupid fool. I cannot believe you haven't noticed that aberrant thing. Pitiful humans. They refuse to lift their heads up for fear of doubting the authenticity of the blue sky. That's not a bad phrase. Lift my head up. You mean there's something up there? No, he's just talking about how people want to keep themselves intentionally blind and ignorant of any new information. But anyway, yeah, there's something there.
Nature, the collective will.
Not the stage. Chiaki herself. Oh, wait. Actually. There's blood in that step stool. That's interesting. With her arms crossed and a thoughtful look on her face, Chiaki was silently staring at the stage floor. Has something dropped on the floor here? Nothing dropped. It's just dirty. Dirty?
Hey.
See? Take a close look at the floor.
See?
If you look close, what is that? Is that blood? Or... what is that? You're right. There's a smudge as if something was wiped off. Wait, this isn't something. Is this the blood stain? I don't understand like why some blood can be red, but everything else has to be pink. I said before, one thing I think it's obvious for anyone who plays the game. Like the pink blood is a way to kind of get past certain censors, so they can have. I think it's not even really gory, honestly. It's like, what is this even rated for? I have a better word. The game's not even really gory, honestly. It's bloody in the sense that, you know, from what we see every now and then, but it's not too gruesome. Well, I guess Sayaka's death in the first game is pretty gruesome. And, Chihiro's is kind of disturbing. I don't know, I think they could have like the blue blood, but, red blood, rather. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, a bloodstain isn't strange. Hyoko's neck was slashed not far from here.
But still.
Rather, what's strange is, why the killer tried to hide it? They trying to hide it?
So...
If they weren't trying to hide it, they wouldn't have bothered wiping it off. I was thinking like maybe they dragged Hyoko's body. Like maybe they slashed her neck there and dragged her body over to the pillar to tie it up. I don't know. The reason the killer wiped off the blood stain, maybe it's their own blood? Maybe something happened and they bled their own blood to try to clear it up. As long as the body is nearby, there's no way they'd be able to conceal the crime by wiping off a blood stain. So, what was the killer trying to hide? Oh yeah, this is the candle that's illuminating the entire scene. There's a massive candle positioned near the front of the stage. And the dull light in that video must have been coming from this candle. A candle this huge might be perfect for lighting, but they didn't need to bother using a candle. They could just use the normal stage lighting. Maybe they're trying to. Well, no, because Hyoko's body wasn't even in the frame though. I was thinking that they want to use the candle to illuminate Ibuki's suicide, but not to make sure you couldn't see Hyoko. But Hyoko wasn't even framed to begin with, so that wouldn't even matter. Even if they had to have all the stage lights on. The stepladder slipped over on its side. This must be the stepladder that Ibuki used in the video I saw. Isn't that a bloodstain? Yeah, I noticed that.
See?
Look, there's blood around the left side of the stepladder. As I recall, Ibuki didn't have any external injuries. If that's the case, then it must be Hyoko's blood. Possibly.
Yep.
That's the only thing I can think of. A bloodstain that probably belongs to Hyoko who's on the left side of the stepladder. What does it mean? Little up. Last step to examine. Second best girl had a hemp bag on her head and was hanging from the ceiling. But why does she have a hemp bag on her head? Wait, huh? That hemp bag. On further inspection, there's a monomy decal on the fabric. Looks like this isn't just a normal bag. I guess. It's thought that was tied to the baton lighting on the ceiling. Ibuki hanged herself with a spilt and died. From what I can tell, it looks like a regular length of rope with no unnatural features. Go away, psychopath. But despite the fact this music venue has a storage room, there shouldn't have been any rope in there. Which means, was it obtained from the supermarket? Did the killer bring it from there? That means anybody could have obtained this rope, and it means it'd be difficult to use this as a clue. I wonder if that's true. Huh? Oh, I just noticed a little something. Is it okay if I confirm it?
Hey!
Excuse me, third best girl. Do you have a moment? What's happened? There's something I want to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right?
Well...
Yes. She had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself.
I see.
I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself. That was obvious the moment we discovered the body. You might not have seen it, but we all saw that she hanged herself. You're right. Yep, I got it. So this rope won't be much of a clue. Then I might as well search another place. Jeez. As usual, I have no idea what he's up to. How can this not be a clue about the hemp bag? This is not hemp bag. I thought I had more than that. Just 6 clues. Well, I wanted to check into the storage room in the back. There's a control panel in the wing of the stage. It seems you can use this control panel to raise and lower the baton lighting on the ceiling. In fact, we use this to lower Ibuki's hanging body. Speaking of the lighting, the video of the music venue I saw had a dim candlelight ambience to it, and it didn't look like the lighting was used at all. This lighting was used at all. But why didn't they use this lighting? Is there some reason that would have inconvenienced them?
So you have appeared.
I see. So you noticed it too, Fiend. Huh? Noticed? So you didn't notice. Those eyes just little glass balls. Yes? Take a good look at the baton lighting above your head. Have you not noticed that aberrant item? Where? What are you talking about? Look at the baton lighting. Like a scrap of... Is that a scrap of something? You mean that? There's something that looks like a black paper stuck to the baton lighting. So you finally noticed. You actually pointed out to me. I can't really see from here. I should lower the baton lighting one more time and... Hold on. No, it's nothing. Something on my phone. Lower the baton lighting one more time.
I can see it!
Huh. There's no need.
Go, my 4 dark devas of destruction!
Go, Mirage Golden Hawk Jumpy! Now is the time for you to take flight! Fwahaha! Feast your eyes upon the brave souls of my 4 dark devas of destruction! A hamster launched itself from Gundam's hand and ran to the baton lighting to the other ceiling in a flash. Let me see it in a flash. Look at that. It started running around the stuck the paper in rapid circles. And then the paper floated downward and was definitely caught by Gundam. Did you see that? Behold the power of the ultimate evil eye wielder.
Wow!
That is amazing. I've never seen a hamster do tricks.
How pitiful.
They're my 4 dark devas of destruction. Hamsters are merely their temporary form. Okay. So what's with that paper?
Fine.
There seems to be some kind of thick paper. Although it does not have any special spells described onto it, why would it?
It was close.
So, it appears it's nothing unusual. Nothing useful. No, that's not it. There's no doubt this is some kind of clue. I mean, the fact that it was stuck to in a place like that, no matter how we think about it, it's too unnatural. Yeah. They got up there somehow. God damn it, I wanted to look at the bodies last. Curtain? Oh, it was black. There's a black curtain hanging from the far side of the stage. This curtain. It's not wide enough. It can't reach from one edge from one edge of the stage to the other. Jesus.
Huh?
It's not really a full-length curtain. This curtain wasn't originally here, right? If it was, it's strange that it doesn't fit properly. It was probably obtained from the furniture section of the supermarket. There's a furniture section of that place? See? Back the curtain is tapped for temporary use. Taped? I don't know. Not taped. Taped in temporary use, just like the curtain at the supermarket. So you're saying someone took their time to actually bring that curtain from the supermarket? Was this here before? Like when we first got to this part of the island?
So...
But they went that far? This is probably something that the killer really needed for this crime. Why do they need it? Who knows? Well, it wouldn't be a mystery if the answers came easy. Who done it? Anyway, let's leave. Ugh. Stage room. Oh, AC control panel. This looks like the music venue's AC unit. That's right. You might be able to adjust the hot air in the music venue with this. Alright. I should mess around with it a little. Like so. It's running as a heater. Over 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I can see that. Now I know why it's so damn hot. But it's not the heater for now. That should cool things off a little. Alright. Hyoko's body is suspended against the pillar on the side of the stage. She's wrapped against the pillar with duct tape. Looks like she was forced to stand upright. Off the ground though, like her feet are just dangling. Yeah. Damn it. Who did this? According to the Monokuma file, her cause of death was a slit throat. It looks like it stopped bleeding, probably because the duct tape wrapped around it. But why is Hyoko's kimono like this? Like what? Her kimono's all disheveled. This her sash is tied in the front. I noticed that. It still looks like she was just the way that it's angled. It looks like she was decapitated to me, but I don't know. Did the killer do this too? But when did the killer kill Hyoko? She was just fighting up against that killer, isn't she? When I first discovered Ibuku's body, I didn't see Hyoko's body here. That thick scrap of paper is up there already, you know, the baton light, and I can see it from here. I was there from the start. Yeah. That's the case Hyoko was killed. It must have been during the time I was getting everyone before I came back here. But that was barely 10 minutes. She might have already been dead, honestly, and the killer wrapped her around the pillar after the fact. Is it really possible that the killer killed Hyoko and taped her body in such a short amount of time? She's probably already dead, honestly. Even if it is possible, whoever did it would have had a mere window of time to do so. Because the killer must be someone who doesn't have an alibi during that time, right? Soda, Gundam, and Sonya were at the motel, right? And Well, what was Fuyuhiko? I don't think Fuyuhiko would have done it, but what was he? Mikan, the psychopath, and Best Girl were at the hospital. Again, like I said before, Nekomaru is the only one who we really can't account for because he's somewhere else that the Monokuma is taking care of him.
Hey!
Ah, Hajime, do you have a minute? What? No, you're in the way. Thank you.
Now.
I don't wish to be in your way at all. There's something I really need your help with. Help?
Actually,
If you look closely, there's an unnatural shape bulging from inside Hyoko's kimono. Aw, dude. I fucking knew it. It's Chihiro all over again. So, I was thinking that she might be hiding something. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me you want to search inside Hyoko's kimono. You might have to, honestly.
huh?
That's exactly it.
Why?
Well, it wouldn't have been a problem if she were alive, but she's dead now, you know? It would still be a problem either way, honestly. Don't mess with me. You saying there's no problem with that now that she's dead? Fine. If you don't want to do it, I'll just have to ask someone else.
Hey!
Akane,
Yeah.
what's up?
Hey,
What's something I want you to do for me? Looks like there's something inside Hyoko's kimono. Can you feel around for that?
What?
I don't really understand, but I just gotta check Hyoko's kimono, right?
thanks.
Thank you, best girl. Helping each other is such a wonderful thing. I just want to fucking kick him right downstairs.
Now then.
Let's see. Best girl reached through the duct tape built binding Hyoko as she stuck her hand inside her kimono.
That's weird.
Damn, she's tied too tight. I can't really reach with my hand. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
It's a key. There's something. Is this what you were looking for? Maybe. Is this a key?
Perhaps.
It looks different than the keys to the cottage. This may be the key to her motel room. That's possible. The key to her motel room, huh?
But
If her key was so deep inside her kimono that it would be hard to remove, then it's very unlikely that the killer tampered with this evidence.
isn't that right?
Because if this is a trap, they would put it more toward the front of the kimono so we notice it easier. How would it be a trap? Which means we conclude that this is something Hyoko had with her all along.
Hey,
Also, it's not like I'm adding to that or anything. But you look like you were curious about the condition of Hyoko's body, right, Hajime? Of course, that's why I'm investigating. It's true, there are several mysteries regarding her body. Well, just hear me out for a second. Out of all those mysteries, what I think the strangest is
see?
the way they wrapped her body with that duct tape. It's almost like they're trying to hide the wound on Hyoko's neck, don't you think? I swear she was decapitated. Hide the wound on her neck? I don't even know if that was their true intention, but I guess it's a big help for our investigation. The reason for the low volume of blood is because the duct tape is acting as a compress, right? If her body was left alone after her throat was slit, the surrounding area would be a sea of blood. A sea of blood, huh? 2 dead bodies floating in a sea of blood. That's not to make anyone faint. Not Deathcloth. They have a whole song called Blood Ocean. And a music video to go along with it, which was not very good. I mean, they themselves... No, it was a whole movie they did. That movie was so fucking bad, they were all cringing in their seats at the premiere for it. Stop bleeding probably because the duct tape around it. Duct tape. I totally see the killer using to conceal the neck wound. What's even stranger to me is the condition of Hyoko's kimono. I'll just shove him and start in the front. Did the killer do this? Nagito and Akane also found one more clue. Well, also a key. Okay. Yeah, alright. Oh, second best girl. You were my favorite. You were number 2, but still. Second best girl's body lay atop the stage. She's wearing the hospital gown she was wearing when she was sick. There's blood on what's this on the Ibuki's feet? Well, her slippers. One thing. And also, I noticed when she was hanging, but the soles of her feet are dirty. Well, some people like that, actually. Also, she's still wearing slippers though. It's blood, right? What else would be painted and look like that? There shouldn't be any external injuries on Ibuki if that's the case. If that's the case. This blood belongs to someone else. Blood on the soles of that.
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime. Can I talk to you for a sec? You only discovered the body before you met up with us, right? Yeah, at first I didn't know it was Ibuki because of that hemp back, though. But I knew right away she was dead since she was hanging from that rope.
Like...
Which means Ibuki must have died before Hyoko was tied up.
Well...
That helps. There's no time of death written in the Monokuma files this time. So I wasn't really sure who died first. It's true, this man's time of death wasn't written in the Monokuma file this time. But I should know when Ibuki died because I personally saw it. In that video, Ibuki was climbing the stepladder on her own, so right after that... Wait, hold on. If Ibuki climbed the stepladder and died right after, does that mean she committed suicide? Wait, yes, you idiot! Did you not see that? No, that's impossible. You saw it. What else would she be doing? Because even if Ibuki committed suicide, it doesn't explain Hyoko's death afterward. It was someone else. Like I said, someone convinced... I said this already. Because Ibuki had a disease that makes her believe everything she hears, someone convinced her that killing herself would be a good idea. And then they themselves killed Hyoko later. Either after that, or Hyoko was already dead before that, and then after you left, they took a body out and strung it up. Two different deaths happened at the same time. There's no way that's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Storage room. The door that says staff only. Looks like this. Fuck. Looks like the inside is a storage room. Might as well investigate in here too. Why are you here? Psychopath. Did you come here to investigate the storage room too? I just wanted to confirm what you were thinking. Is that it? I'm trying to stand guard here.
Hey.
So how about it? Did you find any clues? The tip over stepladder on the stage, the duct tape binding Hyoko. They probably all came from the storage room. There might be other things from the storage room that they used for the crime. You always pretend to give me hints, but in the end, you're just going to be on the killer's side, right? No, I'm not siding with the killer, you know. I'm just on the side of whoever acts in the name of hope. That's all there is to it. Please someone stab him. Like, swear to God, seriously, turn the camera the other way, kill him, and then just say, oh, wasn't me. Then everyone pretend... I don't know.
But...
That's the amazing reason. That's the main reason why this case is really special. Huh?
Man.
But I can't say for certain, though. What's this guy saying? As usual, he's not making any sense.
Hajime.
By the way, Hajime, I still don't quite understand the details of what happened.
Right?
Hey, if you explain it to me in detail, I think I'll be able to give you some more information. I don't need your information. Really? You might end up confusing us again. You don't want to find the truth. You just want to make us suffer.
How mean.
And that's not true. I'm doing this because I believe it's for everyone's sake. Oh well. Let's sake of everyone's hope, I'd gladly become the enemy. I don't even mind when I die.
Dude.
Oh, that's great because he knows something. I was planning to do something later on. That's the main reason why I can't overlook this case this time. Huh? What does that mean? Regardless, I guess you're not gonna tell me, huh? And it can't be helped. I guess I'll just rely on my gut feelings. Gut feelings?
Hey,
You should come by later too. I'll go there first and wait for you. Where exactly are you talking about? Well, obviously, the movie theater. That hemp band did come from the movie theater, that much I'll say. After he said that, the psychopath walked out of my sight. Movie theater. Why does that have interest in the movie theater? Where's that big yellow... this big yellow thing right here? What is this? Here. Sticker. Huh? Compared to last time, it feels like there are a lot less stickers than before. Am I overthinking this? There's some on the pillars, aren't there? Aren't there? Place safe decorations. This thick black paper that's folded up on the lower shelf looks like wallpaper. Some of it is ripped off too. The lot of stickers pasted all over the front and side as wallpaper. And this edge of the wallpaper looks a little torn, but what does this mean? That thick paper from before came from this thing, you idiot. It's a surveillance camera, but I'm not looking at this. Why are they doing this? I figured you'd say something like, I bet Monokuma knows who did it, because he saw it happen with these cameras. You see your whole body in this huge full-length mirror. It's probably used for checking costumes. With a mirror this big, it'd be used to check how you look. I guess that's everything important in the storage room. I guess I should go back to the music venue. And then go to the movie theater to see what the hell the psychopath is talking about. Oh wait, this thing here. I forgot about this. Oh, it's the communicator. The shattered remains of the machine are spread all over the floor. This appears to be the surveillance camera unit.
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Kazuichi put it in the music venue for communication purposes. Why is it destroyed like this? Perhaps criminal psychology is at play here? What do you mean?
Well?
Even if they know they're not being recorded, there is no way the killer would tolerate committing a murder in front of a camera.
Fine.
So that's why they destroyed the camera. Seems plausible enough. They'd hesitate to murder someone in front of a camera. That's why the killer destroyed this? Then, what was that thing I saw? So, what? What'd you see? Anything else? No? I guess that's it, honestly. One more thing to investigate. Handbag, maybe? I don't know. What else am I supposed to investigate? I'm gonna talk to someone, I guess.
That is...
Hey, when did you realize Ibuki went missing? After leaving the psychopath's room, I went to the call room, and that's when it came to me. I should go and check on how everyone in the hospital is doing. one more time before I go to sleep. And so I went to the patient rooms and noticed that Ibuki was gone. So I quickly ran out of the hospital. So that's what happened. And then I saw Fumihiko in front of the hospital, so I asked him if he could help me look for Ibuki. Huh? That reminds me. Where were you? I thought you were resting in the lobby. That is a long story. I'm sorry. It's not like I doubt you or anything. There's no way I doubt you, because we've been together since this morning. You're right. We were together until you went to the on-call room. That's right. We were together until just a little before the morning Monokuma announcement. So I don't doubt you. I'm telling the truth. Is it alright if I continue with my autopsy? If you talk to me again later, I'll tell you what I know. So please spare my life at least. I'm suspicious of everyone. Fuck it. What happened to not doubting me? Ibuki, Mikan's account. Alright. With this, we might be close to finishing investigating the music venue. But I still need to talk to Mika. I need to make sure that I get his autopsy results now. Now? Or come back later. How about a third best goal? Have you seen anything out? Damn, have you found anything out by now? To tell you the truth, it's been very inconclusive.
You got it wrong!
But it's not my fault. This music venue is just too hot. I turned the temperature down, didn't I? Because of the heat, I can't estimate the time of death. Because of the heat. Is that possible? Your body isn't exposed to heat or cold. You won't be able to determine the precise time of death. Is that true? I see. That might be the killer's goal. They covered up the time of death by using heat to make the inside of the music venue hot. But that's weird.
But
even if this heat is the killer's doing, is there any reason for him to cover up the time of death? I agree. As long as I saw it, it should be clear what order the motives occurred. First Ibuki, then Hyoko. Or Hyoko first, I'm just saying. And as long as this isn't an imitation murder, it shouldn't be any mistaken the order of the murders. Huh? Imitation murder?
huh?
You don't know? Hajime? I thought everyone already knew. No, tell me, nigga,
See?
It's a murder when the killer uses a creative work, like a song or a film, as an outline for their killings. It's so common in detective novels, mangas, and video games, and you start getting annoyed by it. You don't say. How would an imitation murder be related to this murder? Well, based on the killing order and the way they were killed, it's clearly an imitation of that movie. What movie? That movie?
Good instincts.
The assumption is an imitation. The movie in the theater, isn't it? That's what she's talking about? The assumption is an imitation murder is the reason why the killer killed two people. The goal was an imitation killer. So, even so, why do they feel the need to do something like that?
Do you have a minute?
Excuse me, if this is really an imitation of that movie, is it possible that one more person might have been killed? 3 people? What, Nikamaru?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
It's certainly conceivable. If the killer wishes to complete the imitation. Hold on a sec. What are you all talking about, an imitation murder? One more person might have been killed? Are you guys worried that there's going to be another victim? Then no worries. Things will get out of hand too fast if a bunch of people could be killed at once. I'm a real cautious fella, so I prepared a perfect countermeasure. Is there another rule? Ahem. On this killing score trip, the same black can only kill a maximum of 2 people, just like in the first game, so I figured.
Huh?
You mean adding another rule?
Yeah.
Well, a killing at once is okay. Black will be able to secure an easy victory, right? This new rule will prevent that. Make sure you slam it into your tiny brains. If it is a maximum of 2 people, then there will not be any more killings? Yes. Jesus. Since you're here anyway, can I ask you one more thing? you know, I just wanted to confirm one of the class trial rules. I see. As expected of you, you are very strict about games. Oh yes.
Perhaps.
I don't want to consider the possibility at all, and I don't even want to think someone would do this. If 2 cases occur at once, what happens if there are 2 killers?
So,
Like I said, I'm talking about the possibility that Ibuki and Hiyoko were killed by 2 different people. That don't mean that 2 kills exist at the same time, and you can only vote for one person, right?
I am concerned.
If you can only choose one based on the majority vote, the other person would certainly achieve victory.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
So what happens in that case? What about a case when there's 3 incidents instead of 2, or 4 incidents overlap one another?
Silence!
Shut up! It's okay, I'll make extra sure something like that never happened. Meaning 2 kills can exist at the same time. It's safe to say that applies to this case too, right?
Wow.
Ugh.
I don't like this.
Alright, fine. That's right, there's always 1 killer at any given time. Even if they had an accomplice, I'd have you figure out who the mastermind is. Man, I had to give him a huge hint. She made me say it. Damn, my brain's not to be underestimated. I should shut and go back to my cave. I see. There's no possibility for 2 killers to exist at the same time. Let me double check that. Who the mastermind is. Okay, but okay, 1 mastermind, but 2 killers though. What happens then? So only the mastermind gets killed, so the accomplice gets off scot-free. With this, I guess that narrows things down a little.
Yep.
That makes things a little easier.
5.
Plus, if the same killer can kill a maximum of 2 people,
Taste your powerlessness!
it means a 3rd victim would be impossible. Imitation murder breakthrough. You guys keep saying that and it sounds strange to me. What do you guys mean by imitation? Could it be? You haven't seen it? Yeah, it's the movie from the theater. That movie Kuma wanted to show everyone. Seen it? Seriously, seen what?
So,
Like I said, that movie.
oh my.
Is it 7? I still haven't seen that movie actually. That was really good though. When we first explored this island, Monokuma was passing out imitation tickets. When the imitation is, of course, it's an imitation of that movie. Well, based on the murders this time, it closely resembles that movie, as if they were copying it. As if they copied the movie. I see. The psychopath knows something about that. Not that then it can't be helped. I guess I'll just rely on my gut feelings. Gut feelings? You should come by later too. I'll go that first and wait for you. Where? What exactly are you talking about? Well, obviously the movie theater.
You...
I see, so you haven't seen it. Still, it's not too late, I think. It's probably a good idea if you watch that movie before the class trial starts. It looks like I need to do that. I actually did want to see what that movie was. The psychopath kept saying it was a disappointing film to see. So I want to see what it's like though. Then I should get going too. There are other places I want to investigate. Where do you intend to go next, Chiaki? Probably the hospital for sure. Oh, you don't think this time? The first victim was Ibuki. The first victim, Ibuki, was there. I don't know what was going on at the hospital in the first place.
You are right.
Thanks to that spirit disease, we cannot go there for some time. She's right. It might be good for me to investigate the hospital too. Might be some clues related to Ibuki's death. For clues related to Hyoko's death, I should try going over to the motel. There's still a lot of things I can do before the class trial. I'll just have to give it my all until the end. I know it's a lot to do. The heat makes you can't determine the time of death. That seems really weird. Just a little more time, and I'll be back to my old self. This ain't like me at all. This isn't like me at all, Akane. proper grammar now. Let's see. Oh, what's over right there? Casco's right there. Air conditioning. Ooh, nice. I just remembered. I never went inside any of the rooms in the hotel. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Plus, I don't even know where Hyoko's room is. I'm faster just to ask someone.
So you have appeared.
You're here, right? Come on out. Huh? You talking to me? I can see you. Did you really think that you could hide your presence like that? I wasn't trying to hide in the first place. Hey, which one was Hyoko staying in?
Listen well.
Open the door to the central room. However, are you prepared? Make sure you pray to whatever god you hold dear, and you might want to bring an extra pair of underwear. What are you talking about? I wonder, how does this guy talk to his parents' teachers?
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime, can you explain it to me again? What happened when you first discovered Ibuki's body? At the same time when I found it with you guys, Ibuki's body was hanging from the baton lighting. However, there was no body discovery announcement made. That's why I went to get you guys. I checked it at this motel, and when we were about to go back to the music venue, you met up with Mikan and me. And when we went back to the music venue, the entrance door wouldn't open for some reason.
I see.
So we had no choice but to break down the door, and I discovered Hyoko's body was suddenly there too. Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey!
This is the most important part. When you arrived at the motel, who else saw you besides Chiaki? As I recall... Didn't you hear me? A body was found. Body God. Just realized everything. Yeah. Besides Chiaki, I also saw Gundam and Usami.
I see.
So Kaguichi and Sonya didn't appear, huh? Do you think those two are suspicious?
Like...
Well, Hyoko was killed. Between the time you saw Ibuki's body and when we broke down the door, right? So obviously... Why do I think it was Sonya? And that maybe Soda helped her. So obviously those two are the most suspicious since they weren't with us. That might be it, but... While we're at it, let me tell you my alibi too. In the morning, Monokuma announcement woke me up. I went straight to the hospital. I saw third best girl panicking in front of the hospital. I asked her what's going on, and she said second best girl disappeared. So, you guys split up and looked for Ibuki, huh?
Well, yeah.
While we were circling the island, we came to the motel and saw you guys there. Did you see anybody else while you circled the island?
Well...
No, we went to the movie theater and that street full of machines to look for Ibuki, but we didn't see anyone. Are you implying I don't have an alibi because I didn't run into anyone? It's unreasonable for you to doubt me. The time that Mikan and I were on our own looking for Ibuki wasn't very long. In that short time, there's no way I could have killed Hyoko and wrapped her around the pillar with duct tape. It's true. I felt there wasn't enough time to do that after I left the music venue. The fact that Hyoko was killed and we did discover her body. What if Hyoko was always there but wrapped up under that what was it called? Not talk, but you know what I'm saying, right? That huge sheet or whatever in the storage room. What if she was always there, wrapped up and hidden, and then after Hajime left, the killer unwrapped her and revealed her body and then hid again? Maybe? I don't know. That's what I'm throwing out there.
Huh?
What? Do you still doubt me?
Jeez.
Well, I'm used to it. I should have done things that I deserve to be doubted for. So don't worry. Even if you doubt me, I don't plan on dismembering you and encasing you in concrete. Spoken like a true mobster. I want to know in advance what happened to end up like that. Center door, right? 1, 2, 3, technically. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's there. Oh, there's 10. No 10. This is long shit. I can't stop a kimono. When did I use this? It opened. Just as I thought, this was Kyoko's room key. Alright, I should go inside. So what does it look like inside? Get Gundam, you fucking liar. So, Kyoko was staying here. She only stayed here for a few nights, so it doesn't really feel like her room, but I feel a little conflicted. No.
Oh my!
Wait, how are you in here? Did you come up through the window or something? Huh? Did the door open? Yeah, Hyuka put the key in her kimono, so I used that to open it. Oh, wait, she came in after you. Okay. I see. Why does that bother you so much, Sonya? What, did something happen? No, it is just... I'm starting to believe it might be my fault. Her fault? What does she mean? What do you mean, fifth best girl? Who is now... basically third best girl. The moment Hyuka came to this hospital... motel... she completely shut herself in this room. She was afraid of the despair disease, so she was conscious of you guys too, right?
However...
Her fear of the disease was not the only reason she locked herself in her room. She had another reason. Besides that disease, what other reason would make her lock herself in her room?
Perhaps...
Her kimono. Her kimono? Yesterday, I went to go talk to her. Since she had been in her room for some time, I told her it might be good for her to go outside for a bit. She kept the door into her room locked. By coincidence, it was not locked at that time. And then, I saw it. What? Hyuka was crying and struggling with her kimono sash. Oh, did she tie it herself then? Is that why it was in the front? For a split second, I thought she was a lot taller than she was originally presented as. Is that mirror cracked in the background? Yeah. As if Hyuka was like hiding her true height or something like that. I'm actually 6 feet tall. I was pretending to be small. She did not want to smell bad, so she took a shower, but then she could not tie her sash anymore. My hero is no longer with us, so I believe she was having trouble with it. Why does she just have other clothes? Or maybe they don't have other clothes? Yeah. She didn't leave her room because she couldn't tie her kimono, huh?
You are right.
The others might have thought it was just a silly sash. There must have been a serious issue for her. Hyuko told me that she learned how to tie her sash from Mahiro. That Mahiro kindly taught her the basics. That's why she wanted to be able to tie her sash on her own.
Perhaps.
She probably could not forgive herself for not being able to do it. Especially since Mahiro taught her. I could not really understand her feelings. Which is why I said that what I did. What did you say?
Hyuko, by chance, are you having trouble wearing your kimono?
Stupid! What are you saying? Of course I can do it! Because Mahiru taught me. That's why I can do it on my own.
If that is the case, how about you do it someplace where there is a mirror? Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue?
Yeah, fuck. There's a mirror right there too, though. She could probably try and use. I mean, it's smaller, but she could try to use that.
If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror, I am confident you will be successful. Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
No, it's cool. I do it all the time. You'll be fine. And that was when she kicked me out.
It cannot be.
Could it be? Hiyoko remembered that? Are you saying she went to the music venue to wear her kimono? I can see that happening. Hiyoko locked her room and made sure she put the room key inside her kimono. I can imagine that. She was abducted by someone. If so, that's weird. Hey, did you tell anyone about that before the incident? Or was someone listening in on your conversation? I never told this to anyone. And I do not believe anyone was listening in on our conversation. Nobody knew? If that's the case, how'd the killer know Hiyoko was going to the music venue? Maybe they just saw her going there. Something's wrong. There's a Marconi cigar. There's a mirror, but it's so small and rusty. There's no way anyone can use this. I don't see anything else suspicious. Doesn't sound like someone made a mess of her room, and I don't think she was forcibly abducted. I feel like I couldn't really find any important clue. Oh well. Okay, yeah, but okay, here we go. Come on. That's weird. If you hold down the D-pad, you can make the reticle spin like that. That's weird. Got it.
No.
Yes. I was the one who told Hiyoko. I told her there was a large mirror in the music venue that she could try to use. Hiyoko said she learned how to tie herself from My Hero.
However,
She cannot get it right no matter how many times she tried, but My Hero still can't talk with the basics. She probably... Alright, whatever. The bed isn't messed up. Doesn't look like she was abducted in her sleep. That's it. Now she went there on her own. That's for sure. Hey, a car! I keep thinking that Soda could probably fix that car up. Not to the hospital. Let me save real quick.
well,
I feel like I haven't been here in a while. I think it's only really been a few days. Hey, you prepared the surveillance camera unit, right?
Hey!
Yeah, so? I didn't make any weird modifications or anything. It's not like I'm suspicious or anything. Didn't you get this from that shady looking alley where all those machines were lined up?
Right!
Yeah, I just tweaked it a little. Then there are other surveillance camera units. Would it be possible to transmit a signal to the hospital from those cameras too?
Man.
No, that's impossible. Originally, surveillance cameras and surveillance monitors are only used as part of the same unit. The video that was filmed with the hospital camera can only be viewed on the hospital monitor. The video that was filmed with the music venue camera can only be seen in the music venue monitor.
Hey!
But if I left it like that, we wouldn't have been able to communicate, so I decided to swap the cameras. So that's how you guys are able to view the hospital footage from the music venue and vice versa. However, each surveillance camera unit manages to broadcast based on a specific number. So if you bring the same model camera or monitor, you'll be able to interfere with the signal. Meaning, Even if another surveillance camera exists, it would be impossible to broadcast with it. However, I didn't just swap the cameras. I modified them and increased the wireless range. If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have been able to use it. You're right. We did work on that. Wait, what was that?
Huh?
Anyway, it seems there's no possibility that another surveillance camera unit was used in this incident. Oh, well, I guess surveillance cameras. There's a surveillance camera unit on top of the reception desk. As long as the music venue's surveillance camera unit is destroyed, it's impossible to broadcast with this.
Hajime.
Hey Hajime, there's something I want to ask you. You first discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue, right? Why don't you go to the music venue? You had a reason for that, right? Did you see something with this camera? Yes! Didn't you know that? Or, like, someone... Nagito knew it somehow. I think he explained all that off screen or something.
That's right!
Oh, I also wanted to ask you that. It would be different if the surveillance camera unit could record. There's only different household functions.
Hey, hey.
Tell me, Hajime. Yeah, that's exactly it. I saw a strange video in that surveillance camera unit. It showed the music venue stage. There was a black curtain hanging on black curtain hanging like there is now. But the whole display was pretty dark because they were just using candlelight. There was rope hanging from the ceiling, and beneath that, there was a stepladder on the ceiling, on the floor there. And right away, a person wearing a hospital gown and a headband on their head appeared. I didn't know who it was because the face was covered, but now I know that must have been Ibuki. She walked straight to the stepladder, and without any hesitation, she climbed that stepladder of her own free will, and then she grabbed that rope end. That's all I saw. The candlelight being used must have snuffed out or something because the screen went dark all of a sudden and it wasn't displaying anything anymore.
Man.
When the candlelight goes out, obviously nothing will show up. Modern surveillance cameras have infrared functions so things can still show up even in the dark. The one I got from Machine Alley was a really old model. Hold on.
Well?
At the time, you said you didn't know the person wearing the headband was Ibuki, right? Yeah? You didn't know it was her, but you saw how she was trying to hang herself. So you rushed over to the music venue to try and stop her. But I didn't make it in time.
Hey!
Still, she climbed that stepladder on her own. Does that mean she committed suicide? Wouldn't that mean she's her own killer? Ibuki committed suicide? What do you think, Chiaki? There's no doubt Ibuki climbed the stepladder on her own, right? Yeah, there's no doubt. If so... Hey, don't think for so long. If you don't know, just be honest about it. Well, of course she doesn't. There's no way we'd be able to figure that out so easily. Oh yeah, I need to investigate the conference room on the second floor. I'm heading over there. Why the conference room? What the heck? She ran away all of a sudden. She said the conference room, but why would she mention the conference room all of a sudden? Also, I might just be overthinking it, but... Did she seem a little upset? Yeah, because you called her dumb. Basically. Notice, cautions, eating, drinking, forbidden, it doesn't matter. I was trying to see if I could get the option to come up. It's weird. How long has that been a thing you can do? With the reticle. You can spin like that. Anyway. Hey, best girl. What's up?
Now then.
Phew, I'm finally getting back to my normal self.
All right.
Hajime, help me out with my recovery. You can touch my... Okay. You can touch my boobs if you win. Cool. What if I lose? What can I touch then? Nothing. Hajime, I just want to slam your face into the glass. She was bearable when she was quiet. It would be so much better if she was still feeling the after effects. She'd beat me up if I said that out loud. Anyway, why are you here?
Hey!
Well, I've been sick with a hump before, so I had no idea, but... hospital gowns are pretty comfy. I think I might as well keep wearing one. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Blows. Don't tell me you plan to wear your hospital gowns from now on. That's the idea. It looks like they're out of stock. It looked like there was one down for the patient's room, so I thought there'd be more in the empty rooms. We're up to yours, though. There weren't any gowns?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Ibuki died wearing one, so the only one left is the one Nagito was wearing. Hey, don't wear his. If I had no choice, then I should choose Nagito's. It's a unisex size, so it'll probably fit. I'll probably be able to fit in it. Hold on, what happened to the gown you were wearing? Exactly. Are you saying I should wear the one I already wore? That's how's that gross? Wearing clothes someone else is wearing is even grosser.
Like...
No time to dilly-dally. I totally left Mikan back at the music venue. Crap, I gotta go back soon. It was okay since I was going to investigate the music venue, but leaving her on guard duty was a bad idea. And then the aliens. And then this. I've been trying to help all you, Monokuma. Well, this was Ibuki's room, so why not check that? I like that. I wish we can get that more often. Oh yeah, at the music venue when I had to examine the stage, it did something like that. But I want something more similar to the stairs thing happening. I like the conference room. What's this? It's pitch black. I can't see anything. Where's the switch?
Hey.
Don't turn it on. Huh? Chiaki? Are you there?
Cuz...
You turn the light? It's gonna be fully exposed. It'd be embarrassing. What? What's fully exposed? Is it you? Are you undressed or something?
Hey.
Hey, Hajime? If you poke out your eyes, you can turn on the light. Why would I? It's still darkness no matter what. What are you gonna do? You gonna poke them out? I'm not gonna poke out my eyes. Like, if you're undressed or something, just put your clothes back on. Or
Aww.
Bummer. What are you talking about? Troll fail. No sooner did she finish saying that, I heard the dry sound of curtains being drawn. There was a flash of intense light, and that stung my eyes a little. I squinted until they started adjusting to the light. And I saw Chiaki had finished opening the curtain that was covering the window. Wait. Is the curtain in the music venue the one that came from here? For the other window?
Hey.
Were you surprised? Surprised? I don't get it. Yeah, Dad, what are you trying to do?
Well...
I got it. Got what?
See?
The curtains in this conference room are designed to completely block out light. There's a projector in here, so they were probably careful about light shining through.
See?
A black curtain that blocks light, and it's also long enough to reach the floor. It's perfect. a black light blocking curtain. That's why it was so dark. So, is something wrong with it? I'm still in the middle of investigating, so it's a secret. Yep, she's upset. But still, what was that all about? That bit about it being embarrassing by look and troll fail.
Nope.
I just wanted to investigate, I figured. Yep, she's definitely upset. Why is she acting so childish? I guess I'm not investigating the hospital. Let's move to a different place. I'm pretty sure this black curtain was used at the music venue. Or the other black. Was there another black curtain on the other side? I don't remember. They're not right about that. I know the curtain at the music venue did say it was marked that it came from the grocery store. But what if those curtains from the grocery store were used for the hospital, and then that one was taken and used the music venue? Alright, so this light is so this is a light blocking curtain. That's why it was so pitch black. Hey, did I do something to make you angry?
That's wrong.
I'm not angry, I think. Oh god. Well, are you or aren't you? If you're not angry, you wouldn't have done something so weird.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm really over what happened earlier, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, but what did I do exactly?
I think.
Is she teasing me? Oh, let's just go. Let's see what's in the on-call room. If there's anything here. Nothing? Medical equipment and nursing tools. There's a lot of other medical stuff here too. This room looks like it's used to store equipment. There's something particular that catches my eye. Let's just go. There's something here the game would stop me. Now to the hospital. That means the movie theater, rather. Someone commits Ibuka to kill herself. That much is certain to me. The Wizard of Mononoke.
Hello there.
Why, hello there, Hajime. I knew you'd come here. That means you noticed it too, right? Noticed what? The case this time is the imitation case, which the killer used that movie as their theme. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched that movie yet.
I see.
Then you really should watch this movie first.
Hey!
Manager, a customer's here.
Did you call me?
Yes, did you? Yes.
What?
Huh? Hajime's the customer? Do you have a problem with that?
What are you gonna do?
And you said you didn't want to watch it. But I knew you wanted to see it all along. And that's what Tsundere Hajime looks like, then you're a really tough guy. You were so devoted to being Tsundere, you even bought the Monokuma sticker for $1.5 million.
Huh?
You paid $1.5 million for a sticker? It's nothing.
Listen up!
In exchange for not watching this movie, Hajime paid $1.5 million for a Monokuma sticker. Which I'm not giving you that money ever, you know that, right? Come on, since we're talking about it anyway, why don't you show it to Nagito? Stop it! But my resistance was in vain. I Monokuma reached into my pocket and took the sticker. Why do you have it on you? See? It's this one! I thought I was born still, yeah. I thought I was born still, yes.
That's...
You bought this for $1.5 million? How much is that in yen? I'm gonna find out. One second. My phone is right. No. 1.5 million is 163 billion. No, 163,741,500 yen. 163,741,500 yen. That's how much it is. But in the end, he's still gonna watch the movie. Who cares about that anymore? Just hurry up and give me an invitation ticket.
Here!
Okay, here you go. It already says so on the invitation ticket, but it's only effective today at this time. Effective today on the date of this time. At this time. And by the way, I can only give away one ticket per person. You only have one chance to watch it for free. I've already stamped today's date on the ticket, so you won't be able to cheat. What does it say? I can't see what it says. 4 a.m. The 13th of Thursday, 10:04 a.m. I don't know. Don't worry, I only plan to watch it once.
Look forward to it, okay?
Then I'll go prepare the projection reel. Please wait a bit, okay?
Hey,
Ah, Hajime. About that invitation ticket? I strongly recommend you keep that safe. Huh? Why? No reason. Just think of it as a protective charm. Yeah. Why is it the truth bullet? I guess I should just wait until Monokuma finishes his preparations. Meanwhile, I'm kept company by the fucking psychopath.
impossible.
Hajime, I can't believe you bought that thing. You paid $1.5 million for it too. But then you said you should have just settled it with money to get out of seeing that movie. You're right, but when's I have to buy that thing? You know? Just leave me alone. What else is there to look at? Food corner. It's a food shop. All things like popcorn, sandwiches, and drinks are all arranged here. Dude, hurry up with that fucking movie.
No!
Hold on, I'm still in the middle of preparing. Don't rush.
Are you sure?
Hasty boys get hated, you know. You might even get hated by boy bears too, you know. What? You can hate me all you want. That reminds me. That item should be on top of the counter. Yeah, the bag. I'm gonna talk about made of decal there. The tote bag is gone. And that means...
What's this?
Whoa there! Were you interested in buying that tote bag?
Too bad.
Well, that's just too bad. It's already sold out. Who'd you sell it to?
You're so stupid.
Stupid. There's no way I'd fall for that. There's no way I'd say something that would reveal who the killer is. So the killer bought it.
Shocking.
I remember you said there was only one because it's a limited item, right? It's not limited to one. It's more like it's limited to one person. What's the difference?
Hey,
When you buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bait customers with bonus prizes. For some reason, hearing you say that pisses me off. Whoa, wow, Monokuma's account. That's interesting.
well now.
Now then, I should forget that carelessly made a slip of the tongue.
Now then.
Looks like the preparations are complete, so please enter the theater right away.
I can't wait!
This is exciting! Exciting! Let's see what it is now. Wow, I actually expect it to be this spacious. Naughty bear. This movie sucks. I apologize for keeping you waiting. World famous director Monokuma presents a stunning masterpiece that reduced American audiences to tears. I doubt it. The Wizard of Monami 2.5D will be screening shortly. From the title alone, I have a bad feeling about this. 2.5D. That sounds so half-assed. Dude, have you not seen Mortal Kombat 9 and X and 11 and Street Fighter 4 and 5? 2.5D is fine. And the new Super Mario Brothers games and everything too. Little Big Planet. I feel like everyone forgot about Little Big Planet. There's a new one coming out on PS5 that I want.
Now then, please relax and enjoy the film.
How long is this gonna take? 2.5D. What the hell is this?
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates.
I got this voice actor for this one.
One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter
Yeah, my name
gunship
is-
during a routine military exercise.
Celestia Ludenberg. Well, yeah, I feel the same way. I didn't like Yoko either.
And was whisked away to Monami's country.
Ibuki was my second favorite. My second favorite.
Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change.
What?
So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami, who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends. Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide,
Oh god.
the Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died.
Well, that happened in the actual.
He
Wizard of
also
Oz,
met
I
a
remember.
Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows.
What is-
He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron.
I guess that
After a
explains
lot of
the
other stuff
mutation
happened,
things.
Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great and powerful. Eventually, one thing led to another, and he started beating the crap out of Monami.
She looks even more like ice cream with the green and pink color scheme.
And in the end, he somehow usurped the kingdom.
What?
of her.
Oh, he just came back home.
With this, Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury. And he lived happily ever after. The end.
My goodness, I wonder why Nagito didn't like that film. It seems so fantastic. Man, movies are the best. That drama was so moving that I needed 2 boxes of tissues, one for each head.
So,
Now then, let's meet again at the class trial.
bye-bye.
Well, I'm looking for a sequel. I'm too disgusted to even let out a sigh right now. That's all I can say to describe the situation. How was it? Actually, I didn't even have to ask. I totally expected your reaction. That was honestly the worst movie I've ever seen. Is it even okay to call that a movie? No, it wasn't a movie.
Well,
But thanks to that movie, now you know, right? Yeah. Just like you said, the characters who were killed in the movie match the victims in this case. Ibuki's death by hanging matched the Scarecrow's death in the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko's suspended body matches the lion's death too. It would have been a complete imitation of the killer who killed 3 people, but it seems that wasn't possible. I doubt that. Perhaps the killer is upset about that right now. Or what? If the killer's main goal was just an imitation murder, they should be upset about it, but I'm not sure that's even true. There we go.
Hello! How's everybody doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome! The class trial's gonna start, you know.
Yeah, I'm aware, yes.
So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP! I'll see you soon!
Bye, Monokuma. It's already time. So, this again. I need to go to that place again. But now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hyoko became victims, in order to find the truth, the only thing I can do is go. Wait, where is it again? I fucking forgot. No, Central Island. Okay. Oh. Oh, that here's right here. Let me save real quick. Whoa, there's so few people here now. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. And soon enough...
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial? No, not really, man. I just rather relax on the beach. Hey, jerk. Hold it right there.
Monomy's such a dumb child.
What? Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells. My brain works just fine. You tell him, Usami. Monokuma, what'd you do with Nekoma? That's why he's not here, is he? I see. So you've come to avenge. Is he dead? Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like you said... He's dead?
Anyway...
Since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye!
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hold on. I won't let you escape.
Hey, hey!
Did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. I don't know about that. He'd probably kill Nekomaru too anyway. Why are you so excited about that? He's a psychopath. I keep saying it.
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail. How's this poetic?
What do you yearn for?
What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Someone punch me in this damn stomach. Then let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. He's all the way by himself. 3, 7, 8, 9, including the psychopath in Hajime. Just as I thought. This particular incident... Oops, we can continue this later. Right, Hajime? What's wrong with him? He's even creepier than usual.
Fine.
It's about time I showed my serious side.
Let's make history.
Jeez, how troublesome. But I suppose I can display my true power for the sake of our two fallen comrades. Gotcha.
This is bad.
Hey, what did Monokuma mean just now? Don't tell me Nekomaru was already dead. Don't get distracted by Monokuma. We need to focus on the class trial right now. I know, but...
I'm gonna do it!
Hey, what are you whining about? Hurry and get this over with already. And then we can greet Coach Nekomaru with open arms when he comes back.
Jeez.
I already figured this, but it's best if we don't rely on Monami all that much. She's just saying stupid things and they'll make us even more confused. Maybe we should just shut her up for good. I like Usami though.
Hey.
Let's go. There's no time to waste. I know it's sad, but we need to move forward. And then, we need to end this once and for all. Hiyoko. It must be my fault after all.
Well?
Then, I must learn the truth behind this murder most foul. Now then, let us proceed. How are you feeling, third best girl? Oh, I guess technically second best girl now. Technically. Oh, I haven't been helpful at all. I couldn't even figure out an estimated time of death. I'm sorry I'm such a useless piece of trash. You're not. Stop. You're not. You're fine. We stepped on the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. When everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, oh man, so few of them now. 3, 6, 9, yeah, 10 including Nekomaru, but he's not here. The elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. I'm surprised the psychopath hasn't just spouted off something about hope again, as he always does. And when it descended as far as it could, it finally stopped. The elevator door slowly opened, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. Oh, look at this. It's like a castle dungeon now. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
That's...
What?
well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yahoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so, the curtain to the third class trial was about to open. Second best girl, Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Worst girl, Hiyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. How's that a thing? Then I guess how is ultimate fanfic creator a thing? Or doujinshi artist, or whatever you want to call it. Just from looking at her adorable face, you never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself. No, she wasn't. and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiro's death. The person who killed those two is among us. Definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Once I figure out the truth, I'll be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost, for our sake, for our friend's sake, for second best girl and Hiyoko's sake, and worst girl. God damn it. And so, the curtain to the third-class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Who did it this time? I'm most suspicious of Sonia, I think. But I'm suspicious of everyone. My statements. This is not speaking. I guess I'll do this. Let's go. All rise.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I was wondering what would happen if, like, during the first class trial, they got it wrong and everyone ended up being killed, and the blackened ended up being able to escape. During the first trial of the entire thing. What would Monokuma think and do then, I wonder?
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
Oh, really? You don't? Oh, that's too bad. Anyway.
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
And also, we're purposefully withholding information from you.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Makes sense.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from the symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Why do you sound so... Why are you just so excited about this? Jesus. Just imagine him touching himself. And then what? What happened next when the person died? What'd you do then, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our site.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Yeah, that stood out to me too. What do you mean by that?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
Why are you blushing?
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door.
That hurts to see Ibuki's picture right there with her X'd out. I hate that.
And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
And here goes more confusion from this asshole.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Because everyone else can corroborate the stories.
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
No, it isn't.
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Fuck you. This is him totally trying to get back at Hajime for withholding information from him in the beginning.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
What if I prove that I am the killer? Then what? You're gonna be on my side then? Like you always are? Always on the killer's side? Just as Kazuichi said, the psychopath's the kind of guy who will just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it. I shouldn't explain it to the psychopath. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Make your argument.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie, Means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Wait a minute. I'm not the killer. There should be a contradiction somewhere. I need to find that and break through. Yeah, because I know Hajime didn't see
Hajime's
the movie.
testimony is clearly suspicious.
Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
No.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Jesus Christ.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time.
He told Hajime earlier to hold on to the ticket because he thought it could be a good luck charm or something to that effect. So he knew because he knew the date and time was stamped on the ticket for when Hajime saw the movie. So he's making this argument for no reason. Jesus Christ.
Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it.
So why would you bring up that argument to begin with?
Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Yeah, just start a fucking argument.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Well, actually...
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
Good
A
question.
murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Yeah.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
Like you just said, you don't have an alibi.
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Which, yeah, I point that out too, but like, that depends, like, what did Monokuma do with him, though?
Me too!
Huh?
Hey, why are you talking like, huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Unless Nakamori actually is the mastermind.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? What else other fucking explanation could there be? That's right, that transparent glob.
The killer was still inside the music venue.
Semi-transparent glob, rather.
By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
No,
You can
not
use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Oh, yes. That person's remark contradicts the truth. I just wanted to prove that with my evidence. That person's remark. Of course, you don't say who it was.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
I think I know what it is.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
Break.
Wait a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. The semi-transparent glob was probably... What? Yeah. I can use it.
Crap!
Alright. It had to be glue then.
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
And she actually put it into her fucking
Glue?
mouth.
Yeah, I think so too.
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
It depends on which version. Which type of glue.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
No, yeah, you don't typically eat it, but like some glues can be edible or paste at least.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, it must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all,
didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
Not really. If it really was the drumstick that was used to barricade the door, finding it right next to the door wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Usami, please stop talking, because that's not true at all.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Aww, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right?
I'm guessing that the killer was there when Hajime discovered Ibuki's body, and after he ran, I said before, like, he had that, not a tarp, but you know what I mean, the cover, or whatever it was, wrapped around Hiyoko's body so she couldn't see it, and then after Hajime left, then the killer ripped the cover off to reveal her body, and then I guess somehow hid the damn thing, hit the cover, and then placed the glue on the door. That's what I'm guessing. This one doesn't from the blood though, and the stepladder.
But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap was stuck in the baton lighting in the music venue. Now, I should be able to figure out what it is. You saw it in the back of the damn storage room. What the? What's this? A rat, I guess? Okay. Why does it have to be in order? Can't. Okay. So that I can do that. Oh wait, there it is. What is it? Wallpaper. Whoops, sorry, 2 L's. All the A's. That fuck! I don't care. Let it burn, I don't care. Huh. Oh, no. here. There we go.
Got it!
Hangman's Gambit.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Maybe.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
Right. You overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? Obviously! If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give it a try. Let's give this a try. Figured your logic drive. Can we do this again? Whoops. Triangle did that, but man, this is intense. How did Hyoko's body was hidden? It was always there, it was just hidden like I've said before. Come on now. Question 2. What the killer used to hide a body? The wallpaper. Man, this is intense. How did the killer hide a body with the wallpaper? Pick up the killer. Obviously.
it's all coming together!
Yes, indeed.
Got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
It was already done. So the body was already there.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
The hid what was under the pillow.
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
I don't think, not from this Ada, what is said, it doesn't, that seem to be the case, but...
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that killer.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music video.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Seems rather convenient, but alright.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey! Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie.
Well, you all saw it?
Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Yeah, why an imitation murder?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
What about now? Escapes. To mix up the killing order?
I see!
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Makes sense.
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the silk's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, this continues. We're just going to talk in circles. I think it's supposed to be clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes, there is.
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor. But she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
That's not why everyone say
Weak, I
that?
say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
Shaki said Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed, but is that really true?
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with
There
that.
we go. Consent.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
Her feet are really small when I'm looking at it.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
What if it was... I don't know. What if Ibuki actually killed Hiyoko herself? Because, again, someone told her to do it. And then kill Hiyoko and hide the body. And then kill herself.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Why, dude?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
Can you drop the axe for once, man?
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
I really want to know what Yasuhiro would think of Gundam. Yasuhiro absolutely hated the occult, and Gundam is nothing but the occult. But much like Yasuhiro, he never drops the act. So I'd love to see what they think of each other.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Alright.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about one you can see a nice nightmare.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. Then it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your... You should feel that it's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Wow. When I drive the story, there won't be any place for me to counter. Just as I thought. That wasn't earlier with the opening for his rebuttal. In order to bring back the topic, looks like I have to be pushed back on purpose.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. But it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. You should feel proud. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Retreat, okay?
Damn it!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Well, that's interesting. You have to actually be pushed back. It's not the right answer.
The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer
that's
probably
my pink
didn't even
one.
realize it.
It looks like faded pink. As opposed to like the red as we saw before.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hiyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Yoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Is that true? I don't know anything about that.
Aside from Nikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Nikon's autopsy?
I think so.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yup. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
That's what happened in the first game.
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's dead, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That quickly? Oh, yeah, it's possible. Murder-suicide.
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
No.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
No, you idiots.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that!
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
Exactly.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
I hate him.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, just what was that video Hajime saw?
I'm pretty sure she did. Like, but not on purpose. Like I said, like someone convinced her to do it. Her disease made her believe anything anyone told her. So someone told her to kill herself because it would be a good idea to do it. Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
I know she can't see her hair through the outside the bag.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I just realized Teruto's cross is a fork and knife. I never noticed that before.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
Right.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually right?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music video a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki,
Why is that yellow tinge on the screen right now? I don't understand that.
that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Alright. What do you say?
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person doesn't have an alibi for that time. Let me try something for a second. The few who met me coming from the hospital, they split up and searched for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater and Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently people here and Nikon were only separated for a short time. Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono for several minutes and then to tired on her own. But soon apparently found her told about the feeling of mirror and the music thing was torturing.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Damn it.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Oops. Let me come to the hospital. They searched for Ibuki. They searched the movie theater in Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Right up until the Monokuma and after that morning, Mika was at Hajime the whole time. After she was to the hospital checking everyone else, they were good to do it. When she reached the hospital, she flew British for Hito. who doesn't have it?
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
We were sitting out of colleges, right? But that's not an alibi since there's no one here to back it up, right? Hey, Hajime, could you do something about that? I'm counting you to provide better cover fire. Okay.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
It might
Right
be
before the morning
somewhere.
announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Ah, damn it. Did I make a mistake? I believe I'm not mistaken when I say that nobody has an alibi. Also, if you have a rebuttal to make, please make sure it makes sense next time. Fuck you.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
Okay, now I see what it is. I think.
We can exclude the sick.
And what about the...
Right before them, I was totally
I think I
sleeping.
got it.
Everyone.
So everyone who's... What about you guys?
I was where I was, but
That's not.
Aside from those afflicted by the... If nobody has an alibi...
There we
No,
go.
that's wrong.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Why are you so nervous, fifth best girl?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
And almost question. Why'd the music stop? You alright there, Chiaki?
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
if that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Is that a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose? And what kind of trap is it? I knew this was gonna happen. We have to do it already? Why, hello there, Monami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chance time. What's that? Now then, Monami's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Oh, I don't know about that. Good luck.